Today I'm discussing the concept of multiple access techniques, that is FDMA, CDMA and TDMA. So let us start with FDMA. FDMA is nothing but frequency division multiple access. So it is the multiple access technique in which each user, each individual user is given individual channels, that is with an allocated unique frequency channel. Okay. So if FDMA channel is not in use, then it is idle. That is, it is treated as a wasted resource and it cannot be used by other users. That is, it cannot be shared by other users in order to increase the capacity. So it is a method, it lets more than one user to share a single radio frequency spectrum, but each user is given individual channel with an allotted frequency spectrum. This is a diagram which is representing the signal, that is the unlock baseband signals is given to modulators with the different carrier frequencies f1, f2, f3. Those are modulated, added in order to produce some frequency division multiplexing channel signal. In a similar way, this is demultiplexing. You can be do in a reverse process, filtering, demodulation with the carrier frequencies, and we'll be getting original baseband unlock signal. These are the God bands between the different frequency channels used, which is a small amount of bandwidth which it cannot be used. This space is called as God band. So between different frequency channels that are used, a small bandwidth will not be used. Whatever the bandwidth is not used, that band is called as God band. It is used for instability of the sender and the frequency shifts, that is Doppler effect, and there is no ideal filtering. Next, the main features of FDMA are it has continuous transmission, the bandwidth is narrow, and no digital processing is needed, ease of framing and synchronization. It is used in both analog and digital signals, and it requires high performing filters, that is in contrast to TDMA and CDMA. It is not vulnerable to timing problems. That is, in TDMA, different time slots has been allotted, but in FDMA, it is not vulnerable to timing problems because each user is given each individual channel, so there is no problem with the timing. And due to frequency filtering, it is not sensitive to near far problem, because in near far problem there is a problem in frequency, leaking of frequency. So here there is not that much problem because of filtering. Next, the channel assignment. All the channels are available to all the mobiles. It is carried out on first come first serve basis. The number of channels given a frequency spectrum, it depends upon the technique and the God bands between the channels. These God bands can be minimized, which are used to minimize, these God bands are used, which is used to minimize adjacent channel interference. Next, advantages. The advantages is sharing of channel is not possible. If the channel is not in use, it remains idle or it is treated as wasted resource. And the bandwidth, the channel bandwidth is very narrow, and the capacity increase can be obtained by reducing the information bit rate, and there is no problem with the timing slots. And what type of baseband, what type of modulation, there is no restriction regarding this one. And the disadvantages, the presence of God bands. God bands, I have told you, whatever the frequency bands that are not used, those are called as God bands. Because of this, the bandwidth may be wasted, and it requires tight filtering in order to minimize adjacent channel interference. In order to avoid adjacent channel interference, filtering option should be very strict. Otherwise, the frequency will leak into the adjacent channels, adjacent cells. Next, the maximum bitrate per channel is fixed, and flexibility in bitrate capability is small, and it does not differ significantly from unlock system. So this is about FDMA. Next, to TDMA. TDMA is nothing but time division multiple access. In this, the user is allotted frequencies with the different time slots. Whatever the time slot is given to the user, he has to use that particular channel within that allocated time slot only. After the time slot, after the time expires, the user cannot use. And the sharing of channel is possible in TDMA only within allotted time slots only. Next, the reason for choosing TDMA is its operation in advanced cellular or PCS environment. Because of its advancement, the TDMA is most chosen, and it depends on that the audio signal is divided into number of milliseconds long packets. That is, instead of sending the data continuously, some bursts of data or blocks of data has been used. Next, TDMA, it divides the radio spectrum into time slots, and each slot only one user is allocated to either transmit or receive. It shares a single carrier frequency with several users, and the data transmission for users is not continuous. I have said you that, but it occurs in burst, which results in low battery consumption. And clock is required for TDMA. Handoff process is simple because of these discontinuous transmissions, and the transmission rates are very high because of this one. Adaptive equalization is very necessary. Duplexes are not required for a TDMA because it uses different time slots for transmission and reception. And in TDMA, God time should be minimized. It shares single carrier frequency with multiple users, but only one user has to transmit in a particular time slot. Non-continuous transmission because of the data occurs in terms of burst. Next, high synchronization is required because transmissions are slotted, which requires the receivers to be synchronized for each data burst. And it is also possible to allocate different number of time slots per frame to different users. Next, coming to the advantages, it carries data rates of 64 kbps to 120 mbps, and it is a most cost-effective technology. It separates the users depending on the according to the time slots allotted to it, and it allows the operators to do services like fax, voice band data, and SMS, such as multimedia and video conferencing. Next, coming to the disadvantages of TDMA, it has multipath interference, which has the fading effect in it, and each user has predefined time slot when moving from one cell to other cell. If all time slots are full, then the user must be disconnected. That is, if it results in blocking of calls. Next, multipath distortion, that is fading effect, which reduces strength of the signal. And here there is no restriction on time because the user is allowed to use the frequency within time slots only. So there is no restriction regarding the time and frequency. And the parallel communication without collision and whole bandwidth can be used. And here the users, in this one, the users are allocated within time slots. Next, coming to the next concept, CDMA, that is code division multiple access. As the name itself indicates that this multiple access technique, it will be depending on the code. So here in this one, the narrow band message signal, it will be multiplied by very large bandwidth signal, which you will be calling it as spreading signal, which is nothing but pseudo noise code sequence in CDMA, which is represented as PN code. So all users in CDMA use same carrier frequency and transmit simultaneously, but each user has its own pseudo random code word, which is orthogonal to all other code words. If a user wants to transmit that particular information, the code, it has to be known to the user and the receiver. If the correct information has been received from the particular user, then it is treated as the information using correlation property. Otherwise, whatever the information received from the receiver, it is treated as noise if the information is received from the undesired user. So this can be known using correlation and autocorrelation property. Next, what is the analogy between in CDMA is, this is the example. This idea of communication with the code. Some code is given in order to understand, and the data representation in CDMA is given as here data bit 0, 1, silence. Next, the sharing of the channel in CDMA. This is a representation. So coming to the advantages, Particularly for detection of message signal, the receiver needs to know the code word that is transmitted by the transmitter. And at the same time, in CDMA, near power problem occurs. Why? Because whenever the power of multiple users at the receiver determines noise floor after decorrelation property, then if the power is not controlled for the each user in the cell, then near power problem occurs. To reduce this one, power control has to be used. And the features of the CDMA includes many users will share the same frequency, and it has soft capacity limit. Multipath fading will be reduced because the signal is spread over large spectrum, and the data rates are very high. And self jamming is a problem in CDMA because spreading sequences of different users, those are who are not exactly orthogonal, then jamming, that is collision of data information will be occurring. And near far problem also occurs in this one because of the noise floor after decorrelation property. This can be reduced using power control. These are the few advantages. Potentially larger capacity, and the bandwidth is more. There is no limit on the number of users, so the soft capacity limit. You can easily able to add more number of users, and impossible for hackers to decipher the codes, and because the whatever the code we have given, that can be known only the transmitter and the receiver, and no other transmitter or receiver can share that particular code. It has better signal quality. And disadvantages: if the number of users increases, then the system performance cost is also increases. Self jamming also occurs. Near problem occurs due to noise floor after decorrelation, which can be reduced using power control. So this is the explanation of multiple access techniques about CDMA, TDMA, and FDMA. Thank you.